It's the dawn of another day. It takes about 8 minutes for light from this medium-sized yellow star that we call the Sun to make the 93 million mile trip to Earth. During the next 24 hours, more energy will hit the Earth from the Sun than all the fossil fuels we consume in a year.
Good morning. We're here today with John Shaw of Shaw Solar, a local Durango solar company. And he's going to give us the inside scoop on some of the advantages and common questions that people have with setting up solar in their households. Would you say that solar is really practical for homeowners?
Since 2007, panels have actually come down almost 75%. And what that's done is allow people who are school teachers, nurses, to be buying solar. A lot of people don't know that. And so part of getting solar out there is not so much a financial thing or a technological thing, but more an information.
Just kind of re-educating people.
Re-educating people.
Yeah.
If we walk down to Main Street and ask the first 100 people how much does solar for their house cost, almost everyone would say it's $30,000. I don't know where that number came from. That's what everyone thinks. And the number is somewhere between $8,000 to $15,000 on a modest house with, that's the average size system. And depending on the size of house, number of occupants, appliances, what type of lighting, that sort of thing, it can vary. I have a lot of people ask me, how much solar do I need? And I can only get into trouble with that, answering that question without looking at electric bills. It's almost like someone saying, I'm going to drive to Denver, how much fuel do I need? And I don't know if they're in a Prius or in a semi.
Right.
We have people say, well, I really like solar, but I want to still be able to use a hairdryer. And I have a welder, can we still use that? And from a performance standpoint, solar doesn't change what you can or can't do. Whatever you could do before solar, you can still do that from a functionality in your house. You can use a coffee machine or a microwave, and you don't need new appliances to accommodate solar. You can use every single thing in your house. There would be no changes.
It's just like having regular electricity in your house.
Right. It works out really well. When it's cloudy, you still have all your power because you're connected to the grid. So you have the exact same power and reliability that you have today with La Plata Electric. You have that when you have solar. In our location, it's amazing. We have over 300 days of sun here in southwestern Colorado. It's near one of the best places in the world for solar. Basically, a solar panel costs what a solar panel costs, and the value is by the amount of sunshine you can get on it. So we have all the advantages here in southwest Colorado.
So what happens if the sun isn't out, it's a cloudy day, or you have a lot of trees in your yard that would maybe block the panels?
When we design solar systems to make your power, it's disconnected from real time. So we're trying to make all of your power on an annual basis, but not on a minute-by-minute basis. So if it's a cloudy day, your home will function exactly how it does today. Your lights won't be dimming if there's not enough sunshine, or your water won't be hot if you have electric hot water. It really makes it kind of seamless in that what we're doing is producing energy when excuse the pun, but making hay when the sun shines. Sure. And a lot of the systems will overproduce a little power in the summer and underproduce a little bit in the winter. But on your billing cycles, it balances out so that you are still making all of your power on an annual basis. So if you're producing more power than you're using at any moment, your electric meter spins backwards and you get credit from La Plata Electric. And then when you use power, your meter spins forwards and you get charged from La Plata Electric. And so it's a balance of your solar spinning your meter backwards and your electrical usage spinning your meter forwards. So we have certain sites where there's full sun, and that is better, but there's the reality of trees and mountains and valleys around our area where we do have to take into account some shading. And so we do try and pick the spot either on the roof or on the ground that has the best access to the sun. And then what we do is size the system appropriately. The solar panels on my house, we have about 10 to 12% shading from some big nice trees on our property, and that's unavoidable. So we had to put about 10% more solar than we would have otherwise had we had an unobstructed spot, and that's just kind of part of the deal.
But it's interchangeable like that, though, so you can add up or down depending upon your specific
Exactly.
situation.
And, that really brings up a good point of solar's really adaptable. And to me, one of the most exciting things about the technology is it doesn't only go on new buildings. Most of the housing stock in our country and commercial buildings are already existing. And the fact that solar can go on existing structures seamlessly is, to me, one of the best things about it.
So how do you guys handle properties that might be off the grid or might not have access to electricity at all? What do people do in that situation?
In that situation, and we do come across that quite a bit, what we do is we have a pretty detailed energy load calculation sheet. How many hours will a certain amount of light bulbs be on? Are you going to run your dishwasher? And, it starts to get into number of occupants and how many loads of laundry per week. And at first pass, a lot of people fill it out. Well, we'll just do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. And then what we have to do is size the solar system based on that. And off-grid systems require batteries, and batteries are really expensive. And so what we end up with is a system cost, and it almost always is we show someone what it would cost, and then they always sharpen their pencil a little bit and say, well, I think I'll take this a little more seriously and really get an accurate usage of, a more accurate idea of my electrical usage. And we size the system to produce the power that they need when they're going to need it. And store enough power in batteries to be able to get them through periods of cloudy weather. And then also the off-grid systems often have a generator as well. For example, if there's a 5-day storm, buying batteries to last 5 days is often too expensive. So people will buy a battery bank that lasts for 2.5 to 3 days and then would have a generator that would kick in at that point. And in our area, with our 300 plus days of sunshine, that's not that often. One of the best things about solar is its reliability. The solar panels have no moving parts, and the inverters have no moving parts, and the rest of the balance of system is just electrical wiring that you'd find typically in residential homes and small commercial businesses. So we have people who are worried, is this something I'm going to take on and maintain? There's very little maintenance with solar electric systems, and that's kind of one of the simple beauties of it.
So thank you, John, for your time today and filling us in on solar and how it works for homes and kind of solving some of those maybe misperceptions that we had on solar and the cost and reliability and different things.
Well, it's been my pleasure. Thank you.